Yo, what is up, chat? Good to see you. Welcome. Oh, I'm dead. I'm exhausted. What up, chat? What up, Jonah? What up, Coffee? What up, Kathy? How's it going, everybody? Welcome. Thank you all so much for coming by. Okay. My dog just happened to choose to kick off right at this moment. What up, Nogdom? Welcome, everybody. All right, so just a heads up, it's going to be a bit of a shorter stream tonight. I've got so many things to do. So many obligations to get done. And to be honest, the last couple of streams, I've been a bit of a degenerate. If you were here for yesterday, you'd see. It was rough. But we had a great time, and I just want to break down what's happened over the last couple of days, go into all the changes that have happened, and then get ready for the next steps now in the server. So, if you didn't see, yesterday we switched over from the host of the server we were having problems with, and we have had to make some changes. So the server is now powered by GPortal. They have come in and saved the day and given us a server that is more powerful than we could ever have dreamt of. It's more reliable than we even thought was going to be possible, and it's been crazy. What up, Wyatt? Good to see you, bro. It's crazy different. Basically, just say we had, say, 10 people in the server. We would struggle to get 20 minutes before the server crashed. Well, last night it was 9 hours before we thought, you know what, maybe we should restart it. It's been kind of crazy. So what we are going to be doing today is I do have to run a quick test, because we have one slight little issue right now, which is people aren't able to join via searching for the server. You have to use the IP address at the bottom, which isn't a lot different, but of course we don't want to have to rely on that every time. So I'm going to be running a test shortly to see if we can fix that, and then if not, GPortal was going to help, basically. But yeah, it's been crazy. The last couple of streams have been two of my favorite streams I've had in a long time, and that doesn't include Mrs. Kaz almost getting her head blown clean off her shoulders yesterday by a bottle. If you didn't see, that was crazy. I'll put the clips out and stuff, but it was wild. Hey, GPortal gang for sure. Shout out to GPortal. Shout out to Kevin. It's been incredible. The server is 10 times better than it ever was, 100 times better than it ever was, and yeah, so I have some obligations that I have to do for GPortal tonight. I also have some server stuff I have to get sorted. I have to tidy up the Discord. I got a whole bunch of jobs to get done tonight. So nice little short stream. I want to get some ideas going for what you guys want implemented, because now that we have the stability of the server, we can start focusing on getting some of those features added into the game, so we can get those player run shops going, we can get the live events going, you know, all that sort of stuff. So and it also means we might be able to loosen some of those limitations we put in originally to help with server stability. We should now be able to loosen some of that a little bit. So that's going to be interesting to test out as well. So if you do have any ideas, then please do either drop it into the suggestions section on in the Discord. Feel free to put anything in there at any time. We have been actioning it quite a lot, so you know, that's a good place to do it. Otherwise, if you want to hop into a voice call with me and share some of your ideas and some of your opinions, then you're more than welcome to do that as well. So I will head into the live voice chat. If you want to join the waiting room, you're more than welcome to come and have a chat with me as well. And we can start getting some of these features going, get some of the world built up like we planned. That's one thing I've been dying to do, is build. We spent a long time turning the world into a bit more of a, you know, our custom world. So we have our tavern, we have our drop chest building, we have a restaurant, we have a market area with a hotel, got all of that sort of stuff, got the admin area up there, then we come up through to the starting area, like all this stuff you've seen, right? But now we can start to ramp it up a little bit. We can start to push some of these builds down throughout the rest of the world. So some of these areas, for example, over here is set to a no build zone because we don't know what we're going to do with it yet, or we couldn't do anything with it yet. And that goes the same for some of these areas over here. Anywhere you see these little signs, they all just say no build on. And that's basically for preparation of turning, especially this beginner island part, into our full kind of world. And now we can do that. So expect a lot of changes. I'm going to be rolling out patch notes a lot more often now because we can really start to focus on making this world what we want it to be. So once I unlock stone, I'll do more world building for sure. And it is going to be a slow process, but you know, we can now start doing it. We can now start doing it without having to worry that I was even worried that we already done too much, and that's what was causing us to crash so much. But you know, we're smooth as butter now. So just a little update on some of the stuff we have added in terms of builds and stuff. We have now added this drop chest building. So what this is this is a place where it goes back to the original idea of the post office kind of area. We might change the look of this building. We just kind of whipped it up. But this basically is a way where every player within the server, which if you don't see your name here, please do post a ticket to get one added. You get your own custom code for it that we have access to as well. And we can essentially drop items off for you. You could turn in quests here, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so that is one of our most recent changes, but our biggest change we're going to be doing is down in this market area down here. We are now going to be rolling out the shops. So, you know, this is going to be this area is going to be full up with people very soon. But yeah, the server stability is crazy. And the cool thing is about it all as well is now that we have the stability and now that we can start to push it out a lot more, we're gonna start seeing the world come together in our original vision that I scared the life out of me. Hey Kathy, thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. Let's get a hard spam for Kathy, please, chat.
Great Sever and awesome job on everything. Keep up the awesome work.
Thank you, Kathy. I really do appreciate that. Spam for you. Appreciate you. Very kind of you. Yeah, the server's coming along nicely, right? The stability has held us back so much that now I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Let's start rolling out some of these features. Let's have some fun with it and be able to actually play the game. We've done nothing but meetings for like 3 weeks now. And yeah, it's not it's not what I want to continue to do. One thing I'm curious about is what's in here. Oh, nothing. Okay. Okay. This camera thing's so cool. All right. Who did this? Okay, but yeah, so what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be spending some time off stream. Will guilds get a second base? We do all need to decide that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rolling out, now that we can start to roll out a lot of these changes, we're going to be able to get the votes going. Remember, originally the whole plan was we were going to think of some changes, put them up, and then you would basically vote. Oh, who we got here? This looks like Zyda? Oh. Whoa. Calm down there, buddy. Calm down there, buddy. Is it Zyda? I'm not sure. Yeah, so any changes that we do come across now can be voted on. What? Oh. The movement. The movement. Yeah, we're going to start voting on those ideas. It's Pika. Yeah, I thought it was either going to be Zyda or Pika. I think you've both got the same hair, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool. We might have to decide something different to do with the hotel, because not sure anyone's going to use it, so I don't know if maybe we turn it into a more of like a little community hangout spot or something. But anyway, the server's just been awesome. So there has been a lot of questions about the player run shops, who's going to do what, second bases, all that sort of stuff. You know, there is going to be, and right now I actually don't have the answers to it all, but we're going to get the answers to it. So you can essentially cast your vote and have your say on what you want to do, what you want to add, what you like, what you don't like. So yeah, please do use that suggestions section. And yeah, okay. So I will head into the live voice. If you do want to come and you know, say any comments about anything, please do. Otherwise, use the suggestions section. Turn the hotel into the admin shop. It's too big. It's too big. We can now upgrade our power boxes. That is one thing we need to decide on. So I believe so, yes. I believe that what we're going to do is we probably are going to up how many... even better. We are going to up the amount of powers that you can have. Just because we did overlook the fact that you can actually upgrade your power box. The only thing is I don't know the limits. What's the limit to get to a second base? But it'll also depend if we vote on a second base. You know, we have multiple opinions right now. I thought level 10, yeah, but how many powers is that? Is that 8? 8 powers for a second. Okay, yeah. So 8's not too bad. That's only 2 more powers than what we've got now. 8 or 10 for the second base. But we do have various opinions right now. Some of us think that, you know, businesses should have a second base. Others think that businesses and everything should be done in one base. Are you crazy? So that's why we're voting everything, right? We're gonna vote and see what the majority think. Or, you know, get everybody's reasoning for stuff. So yeah, other than that, we haven't really done too much because we've just been stuck with this stability. So we are going to be rolling out the server restart times. Can we get a time frame for when these votes are going out? Yeah, so I would say we'll probably start voting on stuff tomorrow, because I think tonight I'm going to be tidying everything up. Good morning, Toxic. How are you, brother? Tonight I'm going to be tidying everything up, do some work in the Discord, get it all nice and smooth and you know, looking great. And then I'd imagine the shops would be tomorrow as well. I'd like to start rolling out all of the content now, you know? So I think tonight would be doing my GPortal obligations. I don't know if I'm going to get told off for not doing them all right now, but I've got, you can see their name. I am getting to it though. I'll do all of that, and then I want to work on a couple of other things within the server, go around and do a little bit of building, and then I'm going to build my admin shop. So yeah, I'd say shops tomorrow. I need to have a meeting with the admins. If we do a second base, cap the powers at 6 in the settings, you wouldn't be adding 2 more, you would be adding 10 per guild. Yeah, but you can't cap the powers at 6 and have a second base, because you need to get to 8. You know? So that's something we need to do. I need to have a meeting with the admins to we did talk about them also. We have 2 schools of thought on it. Yeah, exactly. So I need to have a talk with my admins to get the general ideas down. I mean, you can limit the amount of bases per guild and things like that, but in terms of the amount of powers in a base, if you limit it on anything lower than 8, you can't have a second base. Do guild members have to do the same? As the guild? Like, if I meds my guild mate want to run resources? No, you don't have to do the same jobs. No. Guilds are pretty much just a friendship group, realistically. Just a team, you know. We just don't know how that's going to work in terms of bases, guild base, business base, like all that sort of stuff. So that's what we need to start figuring out. That's what we need to get on top of, which I don't think is going to be too tricky. We just got to basically now, you know, before we did a lot of the stuff we decided on was because of the stability limitations, like ranches. You guys couldn't have ranches because ranches are extremely stressful on the server. Maybe that can now change. Maybe you can have ranches now. Maybe we can have more breeders, you know, like these settings, these limitations that we originally put in were not all just to make the game harder. You know. And you need 2 bases for doing things because I need all 6 pals for meds. I mean, it would be a case of if you had 1 base, you would get more pals. You know, I think my game is glitching. I didn't see any arrows shot on my screen just a minute ago. Oh, really? Yeah, so we would make it work. It would be doable. So let's say, for example, if you were limited to 6 pals, or 8, as you would need a second base. If you were limited to that, then you would have two bases. A business base and a normal base. If you were limited to 1 base, you would say have 10 pals or something like that. So the question she has ties into the guild base thing. Can you pull me? Oh, okay. Sure. Whap. Hey, Rain. Oh, I'm muted.
Hey, Kaz, how you doing?
Hey, Rain, how you doing, bro?
Hey, man. So with Coffee's question, there's been a couple people who have posted like similar questions and like sentiments in the general chat.
Yeah.
Just to give everyone a little bit of like the things that are up for like debate, like kind of what the poll is going to be on. With bases, there's like 2 schools of thought going on right now. One is everyone gets a personal base and a business base. So you'd have 6 to 8 pals in each base, and you can do, you know, one of those would be to make the stuff for your business, the other is not. The other school of thought is we would have, everyone can have 1 personal base with 15 pals or 14 pals. It would be more than the normal. Yep. And you can use that for your own stuff and for your business. The benefit of everyone getting 1 base is that you can also have a guild base then. So you would have your personal base, and then your guild would have its own base that you all share. If everyone gets like a business base and a personal base, there may not be enough base slots for your guild to have a base. So you could realistically, Coffee can sell medicine, Wyatt and her guild can sell spheres, and the guild itself sells something different. Your guild business and base is a separate thing. But that's not going to be possible if everyone has a business and a personal base. There's just not enough base slots that a guild can have, and that's just basic Palworld. There can only be 10 slots, so if there's 5 people in your guild, you can't have a guild base. It only lets us do 10. So that's kind of like what we were voting on. As far as like businesses and the ranches and all that, as of right now, like I could log in and give everyone a ranch. But what's up for debate right now is how many ranches or breeding pens you get. I think we're leaning towards 1, but that needs to be voted on. But how many bases, like 1 or 2, and how many pals are given based on it is like really what needs to be hashed out, like in the next 24 for everyone. But I hope that answers some of the random questions that we're seeing in the chat. I saw some yesterday too. Yeah,
and I think this is where the voting is going to be the most important thing for the community, because I also have a totally different opinion on it. And obviously, what I say doesn't go. That's not how it works. We all do it, right? We all vote on it together. No admin will decide unless it's something that like we have to do, kind of thing. Because I believe that if you're in a guild, you should share that guild base as your house, and then you should have your second base would be your business. Like that's how I personally think it seems better. But you know, but I think that's going off of the thought of I like the idea of a guild building like their own little kingdom. You know, like I'm just kind of thinking of it like that. I don't think everybody should get one ranch. I think you should get a ranch if your business needs it. So like if you're selling stone and wood, you don't need a ranch. Like, you know, kind of like that. I think everyone should get one ranch, and businesses that rely on materials from ranches get a second one with their license, and breeders should get 2 breeding pens. I mean, breeders, if you're a breeder, I'm kind of down with you having like 4 breeding pens. Because you would be supplying everybody on the server, essentially. 1 for home, 1 for guild work, and 1 for guildmate doing a different job.
So this is something to think about too with that. If everyone gets 1 base, okay, and I'm just going to use 15 pals because that's vanilla for the example. Yeah. Everyone gets a huge dung. That lets you build 1 ranch or 1 breeding pen. If you have to use those 15 pals for your stuff and your business, you can totally build your business, but you're only going to have 3 or 4 pals left over to do your stuff. So sure, you can build a ranch, but most people aren't going to use those pal resources for that. You can only have 1 base. So if they decide, hey, I need cloth today, I'm just going to put some cloth and then take it down, that's not a huge deal. You still can't farm everything all the time. You know what I mean? So I don't think giving out 1 dung is a big deal because it's a bait, like a breeding or a ranch. And if you don't have a license, you still only get the 1 incubator. It's still going to take forever, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it's a completely different issue if now you have 2 bases, because one of those can be just dedicated to a ranch.
Just give me 1 second, Rain.
Mm-hmm.
You ready? Come on, you get out as well. Sorry, thought I'd come to say goodnight. Yeah, so I agree. I like 1 base, 12 pals, but that's my opinion. Everyone else's opinion will be the deciding factor here. So 3 bases would work. I do not agree with 3 bases. That seems crazy to me. My answers depend on how many powers people get. If it remains very low, like 8, I'm fine with everyone getting a ranch. But if we get 8 times 2 or 15 powers, then I support more restrictions on ranches. That makes sense. Yeah. I quite like the idea of like 1... I don't like the idea of having like a guild base, a house, and a business. So if you're then going to have, say, a guild base and a house, if you've then got somebody who doesn't want to be in a guild, do they get 2 bases? Like 2 houses? I think that's where it then throws off. But then they get less than everybody else. So then it's like it favors guilds. And technically you could be in a guild on your own and be like, this is my guild base. You know what I mean? You can't say no it's not just because it's only them in it.
Yeah, so a large thing with the server was, with all these restrictions and stuff, is to force people to play together, right? So if someone wants to play solo, sure. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, carry on. I can hear you.
No, you're okay. If someone wants to play solo, sure, you can, but the server is, at least from I thought, it was supposed to be designed to force people to have to play together.
Yeah.
So if you don't join a guild, then yes, you just don't have a guild base, so you only get 1. Like the point is to make you have to play together. And in order to get a guild base, an admin has to give you the material for it. So you have to show that your guild has at least 2 people in it, and then we give you the dung for it, you know? So like that's by design, I thought, is that we wanted people to play together.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think like we also, like, I don't know if it's particularly fair to say to somebody, that like they might want to play together, but they don't want to share the guild because that gives access to chests and power box stuff, like, you know, that sort of thing. Like you then say to them like, oh no, you have to trust somebody. If they come in here and they don't know anybody, then I feel like that's then
you just password protect your chest. You password protect your chest, and then no one can access it, and it won't pull it for auto building unless they have the password in. So no one can get access to any of your stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's built in by default for Palworld, is to keep.
Yeah, and I know you can lock a chest, but it's more about the power box. Like technically, someone could just be there stealing your pals. Like,
I mean, it's only the ones out at base, I guess. Yeah.
Well, but usually that's pretty much some of your best pals, like work-wise.
Yeah, I wouldn't put. I don't think that's really a concern. If that happens, they'll put in a ticket and we'll handle it. That's gonna that might happen once in like the next year that the server's
Sure,
up.
I'm just thinking as we get more people in, like, for example, as well. Not that I particularly care, but I won't really be in a guild with anybody. One of my bases is used up for the admin area, and like it's different for me because I don't really want a base, but like I think just making it so like some people can have 2 bases, some people can only have 1, like I think that's where it gets a bit tricky.
So 2 things. One, nothing on the server should be based on what you and your character can do, because you can go build 10 bases right now. All the admin stuff and all the items are in your base right now. And if you put up 3 bases for stuff, no one's going to say anything because it's probably going to be admin anyway. So I don't really think like what the rules only kind of apply to you, if that makes sense. No,
I mean I just mean more of like this, like if you disregard that I'm an admin, I personally wouldn't be in a guild with somebody, just because I will still go and play with people, I'll trade with people, I'll do all of that, but I don't think I don't need to be in the same guild as them, and that's just how I generally like to play, and I think there's other people that do as well.
But then in that, why do you need a guild base? Because like how it works right now is everyone gets one base, that's your home and for your business, and then there's a guild base, which is like your guild hall for all of you to come together and hang around and run your guild business. So you wouldn't have a guild business because it's just you'd have just your business, right? So you wouldn't need a guild business. Like you wouldn't need a guild base.
If I've got some of my pals for me to survive in my home, which is my general stuff to make my armor or whatever it is, that's then me like done. If you want trust, we can rob you. You're an admin stuff. It's breakable. The building damage is to 0. It depends what you hit. Chests don't class as buildings, walls do. What up, Yashuan? Good to see you. Yeah, this is why voting's important, right? Because no matter what, we're not all gonna like 100% agree on the way things should be done, but the majority, is what is the important part here. I have your other base. Joda, we've actually broke the system a little bit. Because our bases remained before the base cap was lowered. So we have 2 bases. Technically, you should only have 1. We broke the system a little bit, and it wasn't even on purpose. Just not behind the base. Yeah, they're in walls, coffee. I don't have a single chest outside of walls. Wish you could hang out at a restaurant. No worries, Joshua. Catch you later. Anyway, yeah. So I think what we need to do is perhaps we listen. Now we all get more bases allowed per guild is only fair. Perhaps what we do is we round it up to the locked chest cords. Oh, nice one, Coffee. Yeah, we need to go check all them out. There's a few out there. I think we need to stick to like one topic and then get everybody's opinions before we then put a vote out, because we want to make sure that the voting has enough options on it, because we don't just want to do like 2 options, because right now we've all been saying like 3 or 4 different options. So I think we need to get everybody's opinions in and then kind of look at the most common ones and put them into the voting. I want to be able to guild up with my group again instead of us all being separate. For sure. I just think if you do that, you live together. Like, you live in your guild place. It's kind of what a guild is. So, side note, if we have a base per person in the guild, we would need to upgrade base higher level. We will allow people to, I mean, either way, these are all heading towards more than one base. So we have to allow base upgrades anyway. Yeah. We are pretty much taking that decision out of needing voting for anyway. It would just be depending on how much we actually go up to. So the minimum is 8, which is only 2 more, not a big deal. The one at the bottom of the steps, that's quest stuff, Coffee. That's your items. You can't get any admin items. So yeah, I think it would be a minimum of 8 pals. That's going to be a given. I think 2 bases with 8 pals in each. I think that seems the best way to go. My concern is if we want to have like 4, that needs to allow a lot of pals. 4 what? You know, 4 times 15. Wait, why have we gone up to 4? What do you mean, sorry? Oh, 4 bases? What, per guild? Yeah, this is what I mean. Then sure, I'll grab you in a minute, Noctum. That's what I mean as well, is unless your guild is going to focus the same thing, you are eliminating the need for all other players that are not in your guild. Because you've got 4 bases, which even if you have then 8 pals per base, that's still a lot. 2 pal boxes for guild leaders and 1 box for guild members. So say you've got... I mean, that's still a maximum of 4 bases, because that's the cap, right? Isn't that the setting cap? I think it is. Let me check.
It is not. We can increase it up to 10 per guild.
You can, yeah, but what's the default setting?
4.
Yeah, so the default's 4. So, there's now a forum post in support, so we can all discuss after stream. Nice one. I'm going to bring Noctum in a minute and get some opinions from Noctum. Noctum, if you want to join the waiting room, I'll drag you in when you're ready. Okay, here's Noctum. You're Noctum.
Hello.
Hello. So what were you thinking?
So, excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over being sick, so I sound awful.
Oh, you're good.
Based on, I guess, the ideas put forth by Rain, if we were to go with the route of, say, everybody in the guild gets their own base plus a shared guild base, even if we keep the cap to 4, then okay, 3 people in the guild could have individual bases, and then there's the one central guild hub.
Yeah.
To increase your base level high enough to support 4 bases, we have to increase the PAL limit to something pretty high. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
yeah, I can't remember what 4
around
is.
like 15 pals, maybe 12.
Yeah, if it's going to be 6-8, I'd imagine the next would be 12.
So then, if we increase the number of bases, we inherently have to increase the number of pals.
Sure.
And then, it's multiplicative. So
yeah, and then across those say 4 bases with that many pals, your guild could cover everything in the game. You'd have no use for anyone else in the server.
Right. So now I don't know if this is possible with mods, or if mods are even possible now that we're back on a Linux server. If there was a way that we could, or maybe if it was just over a weekend where we allowed everybody to place enough pals to upgrade their bases and then rolled the limit back, such that people were able to upgrade, and then we knocked it back down to like 6 pals per base. Because even then, 6 times 4 bases, you end up with 24 pals. That's a non-trivial number of pals throughout the guild. And in theory, if you're running 3 businesses, cool, that could make sense.
Yeah,
I guess my concern is if we increase the number of bases and increase the number of pals at the base, then we kind of get back to what it was before the server relaunch.
That's my concern, yeah.
So,
I'm kind of thinking the same.
Let me jump in on that real quick. So, as far as how many pals are needed to upgrade the base, I could technically make it so that a guild can build 10 bases at guild level 1. It's changing an INI file. It's not even a mod. I can just make that a thing. So we can completely bypass the whole you need to have 8 pals in to level up. I can just make it so you can build 10 bases at guild level 1. As far as like a guild having like 4 bases, the pal box is a restricted item. You can only build it with like an admin item. So like you would need 4 people to build 4 bases, right? Because each of them would need one. So like a solo player won't be able to have 4 bases in their guild and just play alone. Technically, I guess if you had a super guild with like 6 people, you guys could make anything you wanted between yourselves. But I mean, that means you're not making money because you're making stuff for each other.
But you don't need money. Everything's free.
Yeah, you're also, 6 people, that's half the server, right?
Yeah,
so like you're the economy anyway.
That's the server for now. But I can assure you we will hit player cap.
I would support imposing a cap on the number of people in a guild.
In a guild.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That is the only way to kind of counter that.
If you allow, say, more than 4, cap the number of bases at 4. So, okay, if you want to, have 8 people in a guild because, you're a bunch of great friends, sure, you just have to accept that it'll be less efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
We can straight up limit the amount of people in a guild for sure.
I'm happy with
I think 4 or 5 is a good number for a guild cap. I agree with that. But
I'm happy with 4 in a guild.
The other thing there to note on Noctum's suggestion there, though, is that he's saying no more than 4 bases total for a guild. So there will be no personal or business thing. He's saying every guild gets 4, and no matter how many people you have in it, unless I'm misunderstanding. So you just do what you want with those bases.
Yeah.
Which once again goes back to my overarching issue with Palworld, which is you kind of get punished for being in a guild, where now no matter if you're in a guild or not, you get your base, and then if you're in a guild you can get an extra guild base. Is why I was leaning that way, because then you're no longer punished for being in a guild. Being in a guild to me means I'm working together and I should get a bonus for it, not a punishment.
Sure, but I don't think it does work against you being in a guild.
Well, if there are 4 members of the guild and it's capped at 4, it can be working against you in that capacity.
It can.
As opposed to, say, a guild with 3 people and 4 bases gets the extra.
Sure,
if every guild gets 4, it's always a detriment for me to be in a guild versus solo. Because if it's me with 4 bases on my own, all of the resources are going to me.
Not with a pal cap. If you've got
especially with a pal cap.
No, because with a pal cap, you are sharing resources. You got 4 times the amount of pals. And if you're on your own,
you're literally agreeing with me.
No, because if you're on your own and say you've got 6 pals, that's all you have, right? So if you then go into a guild, you've got 4 times the amount of pals, and you can all work on different things, so you're all progressing. You might not have mass amounts of everything because there's more of you using it, but you're able to do more at one time. That's not working against you. That's in your favor.
Okay, so unless I misunderstood what the suggestion here was, it was every guild, no matter how many people are in it, get 4 bases.
Oh no, sorry, cap of 4. So if you only have 1 person, you still only get the 1.
Okay.
Because
all right.
The dung is still being controlled.
Okay.
So, no, I don't think that 1 person should get 4 bases, because that absolutely, like you said, would discourage playing with other people.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to join a base.
Right, okay. and right now that's where we're at. Right now, there's groups of what could be guilds that are more unofficial alliances right now, because it doesn't make sense to limit ourselves to only 6 pals. Mm-hmm. When, say, 3 of us working in tandem, but in separate guilds could have a total of 18 pals out, which is what we're doing now.
Sure.
And but then if you're then upping the amount of bases a guild can have, then you're giving that single player, like you just said, doing it separate but still working together. You're just incorporating that into a guild then.
Well, but say the guild gets that 1 extra bonus base. That's the incentive to pair up with people.
Correct.
I would say only 4 per guild and limit 4 bases, with each base only allowed 6 pals per. And the guild base wouldn't be allowed to have working pals at it. You'd still only have 18 total pals to share. The problem is with that is it would have to be a minimum of 8 pals, because I don't think we can temporarily up the limit, because we'd have to do it every time a new player comes into the server. So I think it's just...
Rain said he can change the setting to remove that restriction. So we would never even need to raise the cap. It would be possible to level up your base.
Do it with the 6.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't... So I can't make it possible for you to level up your base, but I can make it so that building more bases isn't tied to your guild level.
At no point does a guild with 4 people have a disadvantage. They have 4 times the manpower. That's how I see it, yeah. You need 8 to make a second base, and then 15 for a third base. 15 for a third? What's the 4th then? You just don't get more pals? Kind of crazy. I would have thought it was like 12 for third base and then 15 for the 4th. Kind of crazy. Okay, after the 15th, the 4th opens. So, wait. Yeah, so you get 15 pals and then you go to missions. Okay. So this is going to be something I think right now, to me, I think we might need to weigh up the difficulty of, like, player-run businesses and guilds. Because right now that seems to be the problem, is trying to have both.
Do you mind elaborating on that a little bit, Kaz?
Because we want everybody to need each other, whereas one guild just needs that guild. They don't need other players. Thank you. Like, you don't need shops if you're in a guild.
I think that's why they were talking about putting a guild cap in, right? Because then it takes that away.
Yeah, but what guild cap would take that away?
4. A guild cap.
I don't think that does. You could make every item in the game with 4 bases of 8 pals in each.
I mean, yes, but you can. Yeah, I guess.
So I think
where the restriction comes in is the licenses.
Sure.
Because if you need a license to, say, have a ranch, then if nobody in your guild has a ranch license, then you need to go and buy things. And if nobody in your guild has a breeder license, then you need to go and buy things. And maybe I don't. Taking things away is never popular, but maybe we could limit instead of 2 flint per person, it would be 2 flint per guild, and that would encourage trading as well.
Yeah, we originally wanted to just do 1 flint, but we had to up it for the guild thing.
For the base
like
levels.
to make people able to increase their guild level. But I mean, if I change it, so you can build all the bases at level 1, then I can just take the flints back, I guess, technically, but that's going to be a logistical nightmare.
Yes.
8 pals, 2 bases. 8 pals and 2 base works for me and my guildmates. And there'd be 4 of us. Wait, 8 pals, 2 bases, what, per person?
I think they're saying total.
Total? Across like a whole guild?
Yeah. What Coffee seems to be proposing. Yeah, a total of 16 pals across 4 people. 2 bases, 4 people, 16 pals.
What, so cap guilds at 4 people?
I don't think the cap on people is necessary. I think it'll kind of self-regulate.
Oh yeah, with the
You're capped at 2 locations.
No, 8 pals in each base, and 2 base, 4 players. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to figure out.
So then I think a big thing here is, do we want a guild to be able to run its own business independently of the players' businesses? Because I think a lot of this is kind of contingent on that. So like if there's I'm just going to use these 3 people because they just typed Kathy, Coffee, and Muscle. They're all in a guild together. Okay.
Yeah.
Can each of them run their own business, and then as a unit, the guild runs a business as well? Or is it each individual person can run a business and that is it? Because that's really going to be the big thing that's going to change how many are needed.
Sure. I personally think it makes, like I said originally, I think guildmates should have to have their houses together, and that becomes their little kingdom for their guild. I think then the guild would just do things that they need to keep themselves like alive and things like that. But then your businesses would be how you make your money and that kind of thing. Because then you still rely on each other, and you could still make money from each other without being like, oh, why don't we just all give each other stuff? And then we don't need anybody. We don't need no money.
Okay, so the guild cannot run a business in your head.
Not really, no. Because you'd have every player in there can. And then also your priority should be grinding your business. That I then think if you've then got everybody has a business plus an extra one, technically, I just think things are going to get neglected, and that's a lot more to keep on top of. I don't think there is a way of doing this that everyone will agree to, because either way, we either have too many pals, not enough pals, too many bases, or no one working together. Maybe say 15 pals per base, a cap of 2 bases per guild. Yeah, the only problem with that is then what do you do for, like, does that mean a single player gets 15, like, to themselves?
Yes.
I think 15 is far too much.
Yeah, I would rather have a lower number per base with more bases. So even if we keep it at 6 per base, but then we can allow, say, 3 or 4 bases, because that does, again, encourage people to play together and to team up.
Yeah. That's too much. So everyone in that guild would share the 30 pals between them for all their businesses. Which seems okay. But you've still then got to consider people who are then not in a guild. They would still get that full 15. You can't say...
Correct, but so essentially with Wyatt's suggestion, if you're not in a guild, you get 15. If you're in a guild with 2 people...
Yeah, and I think 15 for one is 15. Too much.
And then if you have more than 2 people, someone's losing out on pals.
Sure.
So, like, this is just...
I just think 15 for one person is too much. So
Okay.
if you're then, you know, and then what's stopping you from doing what is currently happening in the server where you have guild mates who are just not in a guild, and then you've got like 70 pals.
So I think it would be a good idea to pick a final total number of pals that is acceptable, and then work backwards from there. What is the division between number of pals and number of bases? So if we say that total number of pals that any guild could have at max at any point in time is 30, then okay, 15 by 2. But if we say 30 is too much and it needs to be, say, 24, then is that 8 times 3? Is that 6 times 4? Is that 2 times 12? But I think it would make sense to pick the highest number and work backwards from there.
Sure. I think regardless, I think 15 is going to be too much. Just because one person then has 15. So I think that kind of ruins, you know, you can almost do every item in the game with just 15. That's what standard Palworld is. So I think that is far too much.
So what about 24 then? And then discussing either 8 by 3 or 6 by 4.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is gather everybody's opinions, because I think it's all going to depend on what everybody wants to do, because right now it feels very guild heavy, whereas I personally don't think guilds contribute as much to the server as what player run businesses do, and I feel like we're sacrificing one for the other really right now. We need more than 2 base for if one is for job and one for the others to do. Hold on, I'm reading chat. What you need more than 2 base for. What you need more than 2 base for if one is for job and one for the other to do their job. If a guild can do more than one job. Sorry, Coffee. I can't understand that. I'm sorry. Just a moment. I'm gonna have to get like one in at a time, because it's just gonna end up a bit of everyone trying to talk over each other. Let's start with the max members in one guild. Max members in one guild, but I think everything starts to cancel each other out, right? Like you could say, okay, how many max members can we have in a guild? But then it's like, okay, do each of them get a base? Like you almost can't start with just one thing. You can do a poll in this chat. Yeah, but we don't have everyone's opinions yet. Like, I feel like you gotta think there's people who play in the server who are not here right now. And they might say, well, I don't think we should have any pals. I think we should all manually do stuff. Sorry, you get chance, Coffee. I'll drag you in soon.
You said you care more about the businesses and the guilds, but I do want to point out that the only people like running shops really and selling things, there's been like, it's pretty much only people in big guilds, and then I think like Yashuan, like the only people contributing to the economy currently, for the most part, are in huge guilds.
Sure, because we haven't got shops. Shops are not in the game yet.
Sure, but
and when you want to buy stuff, you're gonna need a shop. Like, you're going to need a business if you want to buy stuff from the shops. So even let's just say admin shops. If you want to buy training crystals, which are going to be OP for this server, especially when you're struggling to get your pals above level 45, because the XP is going to be a killer, you can just buy these training crystals that will instantly level your pal. If you want to buy them, you need dog coins. The only way you can get dog coins is by selling items. So, you know, sorry?
Or by doing quests.
Sure, but quests are going to be so much slower than running a business. Like today, for example, Wyatt, I think it was Wyatt, right? Who I brought like a bunch of stuff off of for the admin building, like made more money from just already items that they had than probably 10 quests.
But say someone doesn't get a license to, say, sell pal spheres. but they happen to have some extras that they're not using anymore and a new player joins. Is there going to be a ban on selling your excess gear?
No, absolutely
if you don't
not.
have a shop license?
No, and you could even sell to the shops. Like, for example, today, as an admin, I used admin funds to buy resources for admins to build. So it wasn't anything to do with me and my money. It was just that admins needed wood, ingots, things like that for like our drop chests. So then I brought them off of a player. And that player technically didn't have a shop because shops aren't really in the game yet. So, yeah, you could essentially sell stuff to admins or to, there might be someone who, you know, for example, I have no interest in doing any of the berry plantations. So I could sell seeds to somebody who wants to do the berry plantations because that's part of their business, so I can make some dog coins out of it. That's just a trade, realistically. You're just trading it for currency. To be fair, someone made 5 times the amount I did for stuff that was much easier to get. Someone got 500 dog coins for 5k wood, and I got 100 for 500 ingots. Exactly. Yeah, I paid 500 dog coins for 5k wood, and then you put your shop up in Discord where you had 500 ingots for 100 dog coins, which I thought was crazy cheap, so I brought them. Like, I'm not going to be like, can you make them more expensive, please? That's the thing, it's all about demand. I needed wood, and I needed ingots. Those were the 2 prices available, so I paid them. I barely made any when I could do 1 lap around the endgame island to get 300 dog coins. Yeah, but I think you should have sold those 500 ingots for at least 500 dog coins, for example. 100.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, 500 ingots for 100 dog coins is crazy. That's why I brought them. I'm not going to team up yet, but I've been selling my resources from businesses. Yeah, like, yeah, you don't necessarily have to run like a full-on business to get money, but you will need money. Unless we're going to just remove all caps, you're going to need money. If you want to buy maxed out pals, you're going to need to buy that from a breeder. If you want to buy ultra spheres, you're going to want to go to a sphere shop. Like, I thought my prices were good until you brought the wood for that much. I wouldn't always buy wood for that much. I literally had a message out for probably about an hour and nobody was selling wood. So then, and I needed it because there was players waiting for their drop chests. So, supply and demand. I needed it. You know? So yeah, I think player-run businesses are, to me anyway, and again, what I say doesn't matter, it's down to the whole community. To me, player-run businesses are far more intriguing and a bigger part of the server than guilds, in my opinion. Could I make a business that offers a sort of subscription service, like a set money amount per week for items every day? Sure, you can do whatever you want. If you find somebody who wants to do that with you, and that's how you're going to make your money, cool. I can't remember who it was, but someone said they were going to be a loan shark.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, like, that to me, I was like, that's a great idea. Why not? If someone wants to do it, if someone doesn't have enough money, and they say, oh yeah, I'll take 500 dog coins and I'll pay you back 600. Like, obviously we would have to figure out a way to enforce it, but to me, I'm like, that's thinking on your feet. You gotta think of a business that's gonna, like, if you run a business in this server that is selling wool, you're probably not gonna make that much money. I spent the entirety of today making an entire factory in my base. Yeah, it is going to be tough for us all to like, agree. But let me drag Coffee in a minute. Let's hear what Coffee's got to say. Hey, Coffee. Hello? Hello? Okay. I will bring you back soon. Alright, let me know when you're back, Coffee. Yeah, so it is going to be tough to figure out. And I know we're not going to agree, we're not going to get it to a point where, like, everybody is happy. I know that's not going to happen. But I think we just gotta weigh up our options that everybody does want. And kind of go from there. Because I think, like, yeah, we got a lot of different opinions right now. And that's going to be tough. But yeah, be sure to send in your suggestions, though, for anything. I like the idea of, to me, I think the guild bases are going to be the trickiest. I want to be in a guild with my 2 friends and be able to run our businesses. I don't care how it has to happen. Sure. And we want that, right? The problem, I think, comes down to... Yeah, no worries, Coffee. The problem that comes down, I think, to having that opening the door to too many bases, too many pals, that then your guild doesn't need anybody else. I think that's where we got to try and hit the sweet spot, you know? Ultimately, we don't want guilds to just not need anybody else. Right, drag Coffee and see what you got to say. Hey, Coffee.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Hello, hello, hello.
I had YouTube up on the phone, so it kind of cut off.
Okay, so do you want to try and explain what you were saying?
Yeah, with the 2 bases and 8 pals, you can chop and change what pals do what for, like, wood, mining, construction, and your food for your main pals at your base. Because I would buy food from Tuna that's like the buff food for fighting bosses and stuff like that. And I think 2 bases with 8 pals is good and stable for me specifically, because most of the people that I'm playing with, like, work a week away, so he's not on for like a whole week, and like other people, they're on at different times, so it kind of balances out for me for that.
Sure. So how would you go about that for a guild then? So you got your 2, right? You got your business one and your house.
One base would be for, like, doing the resources that are needed for the shop and for whatever my pal wants to do for his shop, because he's wanting to do resources, so he's doing the mining.
Yeah, so let's assume that you've got your base and you've got your business base. Technically, everyone in the game then also would, right? Have those 2.
Well,
what about your guild then? Would your guild have another base?
We wouldn't. Well, potions don't really take that much space to do, so I can kind of tack on to my mate's resource base and just build over there, because most of it, for me, doing the medicines, you just go out and collect the stuff and then make it, because you got to collect quite a lot just to make one. Yeah. Like, there's no guarantee I'm going to get 4 power lotuses from running 4 dungeons. It's been like 32 dungeons and I've only just managed to get 4 of the same ones. So, like, for me, so my other base could be a guild base for somebody else who joins to do, if they want to do a ranch or stuff like that, and or a thingy. So
what you're saying is you would have your business base and a base that you would share? Or are you talking about a third base that you would share?
I would share both my bases and just have my business in the shop. I don't get why you need a business base when you've got a shop that you...
Because the shop is just to sell the items. If you say you make bullets, you're not going to fit that in the shop. So you would have a base that would be mining the resources, like building the stock, then you would take it to the shop to sell it.
Yeah.
So for you, it's easy enough. You can fit it in in the shop. But a lot of this stuff, like if you're a breeder, you're not going to fit a breeding pen in a shop.
But with that 2 extra pals from the 6, got 6 doing the mining, well, 4 doing mining, 2 doing food. I could get my ranch and put down to do either honey, pal fluids, or cotton candy for meds. So I only need that 2 PAL slots.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I mean. So, which is fine for your business. But if you had something that is quite a setup,
base would be for the other 2 people that would join my guild. They would share that base and work out how to best manage the 8 PALs for their base.
So what if let's just look at that as a slightly different way a minute. What
if you're just going to have a base that's just for you to live in, you're not sleeping in this game. That base is a waste. You're not building in it. Are we going to be able to use it for resources to make stuff in it?
You can use what your 2 bases for whatever you want technically. But that's why I quite like the idea of, like you said, the guild base, your home base, although you can do certain resources in there, it's pretty much just going to be like the mass stuff, right? Like wood or whatever.
I don't need it on mine for what I'm doing.
No, but you do for general gameplay. Like if you wanted to build, you still have those 6 PALs. There's no good just being like, oh, I'm not going to have any PALs out when you've got the option to, right? Yeah. And most people are then going to do it because the option is there. So that's why I was slightly looking at it as pretty much what you're saying, but looking at it as a different way of having...
There's a third base is handy.
No, I don't think a third. I think 2, you have your business and you have where you live. If you're in a guild, that's where you live.
By live, do you mean like you just have it as a building for a bed, or can you actually like do construction stuff like...
You can still do certain stuff, but of course you're limited to the amount of PALs. You still can only have 6 in there. So you pretty much just do whatever you guys need to survive, or, you might be able to get yourself little bits of food, but you're not going to have like a full food farm, like that kind of thing. But you would basically hang out there and build a little guild kingdom, like just a little kind of chill hangout spot. And then you would have your businesses in the other, in your other base.
Wait, Kaz, so essentially what you're saying is everyone gets 1 base, and if you're in a guild base, the guild gets an additional base? That's literally, that's like what you're saying.
No,
right?
not quite. No, because I mean... In a way, because, your guild would all live together, and you would have your business in a separate thing. So, technically.
So are you saying the guild base you can't have PALs out at?
You can, but 6... If you've got 5 people in a guild, 6 PALs in that one base is not going to get you much. What up, D4? So you might get some berries done. You might get some berries done. You might get some ingots cooked. But like you're not.
And your home base, the one that you're gonna live in, that everyone's gonna share, can that be the food base? And do like your berries, and then that food can be shared between the other bases.
Yeah, because you'd live together.
That would be perfect.
So
if you have the guild base is like your food supply to.
Just general surviving stuff.
And that leaves the other PALs on your other base to do the important stuff for what you're making, for what you're producing to sell.
That's basically exactly what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't understand that and just twigged.
Which I think...
At that point, if there are only 2 bases and 4 people in the guild, then those
No, there's
people
not. There's not. You've got
penalized.
2. You've got 2. So if you're in a guild with 4 people... then you do technically have way more, but you've got your businesses to do. Because you get your business base. To either live and do basic survival stuff because you don't want to run a business, or you have a second base to run a business.
Aha.
Sorry?
Got it.
So every person in the guild has 1 base, and then the guild will share an additional base, is what it's sounding like.
Yeah, so but you'd only get a second base if you run a business and need a business base.
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
So you would need to demonstrate need to get the extra dung. That seems
I know
reasonable.
what it is, yeah. If you're joined up and there's like 3 of you, you have your main base, and then you go to Kaz or another mod and say, oh, there's 3 of us, we need a second base, can we please get a piece of dung? And make that second base.
So
and
essentially, you would live, say you all live together in 1 base, right? That's all you've got. You got your one base for you 3 people, right? Because that's where you all live.
Yeah.
All 3 of you then would go to whatever application thing we're going to do to start a business. You would then get that second base for your business. It would have a sign on it, Coffee Queen business kind of thing. Like, and that's what that's for. Then and that then encourages people to just hang out, especially once we get this proximity chat going. People to just hang out, and you know, that would be where you'd live and that kind of stuff.
Dylan, he's working, so he's not going to be back until the 28th. Would people who are mining resources and that be allowed to have more than 2 mining spots out? Like, would they be allowed to have a third?
If you in your kind of guild base, you would, I mean, yeah, we'd probably have to then limit it because everyone currently still has 2 flint. So if you have 4 people, that's 8 stations down. Yeah. Obviously, we'd have to work out some sort of limit with that. But if your business needed stone, then you would get what you need to run your business.
Yeah, that's cool. It was just because, like, we're both sharing the one little base at the moment. Now I don't need the resources and stuff much because, so I'm kind of like looking after his mining stuff at the moment.
Sure.
And getting pals for us. And getting ready for when Fairmaid joins again as well. So
yeah. Like, so has he mentioned at all what business he wants to run?
He wants to do resources.
Just like stone and wood and stuff?
Yeah, gathering.
Okay, so
and he'll probably like run off and supply me with stuff, and I would pay him because he's a separate person. So I would trade like dog coins to him if he's got stuff for me for my business. Like I'm not just going to say
exactly that. And you could also do it. Sometimes you wouldn't even have to pay each other because you could do it where you say, I will give you this, you give me that, and it helps us run our thing. It requires you to still all work together. But what it stops is a guild being able to just have everything in the game and not need anybody else.
The thing I'm concerned about is if you've got 4 people, you end up with one doing breeding for that guild, and then they just trade with that guild. And then the person who's like doing ranches as their job, they would just end up giving the stuff to those guilds. If guilds were restricted by having 2 jobs, like a guild can only do like so many jobs, like 1 ranch, 1 breeder, or 1 ranch and 1 medicine, 1 ranch, 1 gathering, that kind of thing, then it would mean that other guilds would be able to I don't know how to
they'd be able to pretty much like gatekeep it. Whereas I think for, let's say for example with you, Coffee, like when you mentioned that, like, oh yeah, you know, a ranch would help your business, for me I'm like, take a ranch then, because you need it. If somebody's like, oh, they want to get wool from a ranch, but their business is selling food, then it's like, well, you don't actually need a ranch, do you? You know, like that kind of thing. Like you'd get what you need for your business.
Is that there's like 12 items that I need just to make the different types of medicines. Yeah. And if I'm paying coins out all the time, it's not really gonna. I'm not really gonna be able to afford to make the elixir potions for like damage, for attack and health and stuff like that, because by the time I've paid for all the individual items, you might as well just go spend your 100 dog coins at the medal dude, because I was just going to undercut him by like 20 dog coins cheaper.
Well, yeah,
for making them.
Yeah, and you know, there's going to be a lot that's going to be available across these different shops. And, you know, there is still going to be items out there that we have to beat in terms of price and things like that. But like, for example, right now, like, Kathy, you want to run resources. I think there's about 4 people that want to do basic resources right now.
Oh, I know how to explain it. Rain, remember we were talking about, if we have a guild base, like, and everybody's got, like, say everyone's got an incubator, right? they get an incubator that they can put down on their own base, but would they be able to put the incubators down in the guild base and the other guild members have access to them?
How explain this, how I answer this question, Kaz, was you can if you have 4 members in a guild and each of you have an incubator, you're allowed to put your incubator in your personal base or the guild base, but not your guild mate's base.
Yeah, that was it. You're so much better at explaining things than
Sorry,
me.
can you say that again?
So this is about resource sharing, okay?
Yeah.
So there's 4 people in a guild, okay?
Yeah.
So each of them have a base, and then there's a guild base, all right? So if Coffee doesn't need her incubator, she is allowed to place her incubator in her personal base or the guild base,
Yeah.
but she's not allowed to place it in a guild member's base to give them an extra incubator.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's how I explain, like, answered it, but you know.
Yeah, which is why I think living together solves that as well. Because if you live together, you could put it in your guild base, but
That's an extra incentive for people to join up together in a guild and to get a guild base, because you can share the resource like the incubators.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to trade excess. So, like, if you only need 1 flint and you get 2, you're not allowed to trade it to another player. You can contact an admin and say you don't need it, and we can potentially reimburse you for it with something else, but you're not allowed to trade it with another player.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so then that's why I think if you were living together and you like you said, so you said you could put it in your guild base, right? Like like an incubator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have you have it in your guild base, and you technically almost share it because you could all technically use it, whatever. But you're still limited to the same amount. But then you couldn't put it in the extra base because that would be the business base. The only things allowed in that base would be to run the business. So if you run a medicine shop, you don't need an incubator in that base. And if a moderator was to see it in there, we could just destroy it and you lose it altogether. You know, like, it would technically give the moderator something to do.
But one concern that you had voiced, Kaz, about, if a guild is too self-sufficient and they don't trade with the outside world.
Yeah.
I think there's already mechanisms in place to control that. So say, okay, what are the things that people would potentially need to go to a shop for? Basic resources, okay, that's limited by flint. And then food, okay, that's, for more complex things, you would need an entire base dedicated to it if you wanted, like, salad or pizza. And the only way that you're going to be allowed to place those advanced things in that base is if it is, a business base. And then, okay, so for later on, things like perhaps ammo or advanced weapons, we could give maybe the same recipe treatment to the production line tier 2 or something. So if you wanted to efficiently craft ammo and craft it quickly, then you would need a license to get that extra piece. Like, maybe you need corn for the fancy ammo crafting bench.
Yeah.
Something like that. That way you could impose more restrictions on business licenses. So that way, it wouldn't discourage people from being in guilds, but there would still be mechanisms in place to require people to reach out to shops.
Yeah, so the licenses, the way I see them kind of working is, like, if you have a license, so say you have a breeding license, that is what you are then restricted to. You can't, like, have, like, multiple licenses, and that kind of thing. So that would also mean if there's 4 breeders in the server, like, we could just then be like, there's no breeding licenses left. If someone wants to change their profession, then they would essentially give up that previous license.
So if you've got a breeding ranch, you can't. If you've got a breeder, you can't have a ranch. That kind of thing.
Currently, no. Because you for a start you wouldn't need both. A breeder.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
Cakes you kind
If
of.
you've got one, you wouldn't be able to have a ranch.
Sure. Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
have the breeder. That's yeah. Cool. I'm gonna tab out now. Okay.
No worries. Appreciate
Go
you,
pull off
Coffee.
that heist, Coffee.
Have fun, everyone. Sorry.
Go pull off your heist. I believe in you.
I died.
Oh.
I've got like 6 death markers. I'm not even bothering to go get my stuff yet until I get something heavier in. I got like 6 death markers over at the oil rig I was playing around over there last night. I lost so much stuff over there. My markers are still there. I will go sneak over and get them like at some point, but I need to go make some more spheres. So I will catch you later.
Laters.
Hit me up. I've got an idea for rain and that I could use some help with later. If you're free, just let me know.
Sure. Yeah, I PM'd you already.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, be on my way, Pika. Yeah. So, why is this waypoint stuck at the top of my? You see that? 999 meters. Just there. Yeah, so, you know, I don't think it would be too hard to actually vote what we... Latest D4, appreciate you. Sorry, yeah, you'll get at least one, yeah. Yeah. So at least we seem to be somewhat making sense of it. Just so many like variables to think of. Where to, Pika? This hill? Is this what you meant, Pika? My huge common egg ended up as an alpaca. Okay. All right. Interesting. We are making sense of it. Okay. Any more comments from you guys? No. Knocked him, right?
Not particularly. I do want to just point out that after clarity, your suggestion is almost the exact same as mine, just with more restrictions. We were disagreeing with each other, and apparently it's the exact same. I just want to put that out there.
Do I need to remove these? Let me know if I need that sign removed. Pet resources shop. Oh, Red's resources shop. No.
Shameless advertising.
Markers are fine. It's fine. It's more of like big builds. We may move it, so because this might become like an actual big base build of some kind. But no, you can put waypoints down and stuff. That's fine. Put them wherever you want. It's all good. It's mainly like don't build a giant base here because we might move you. That kind of thing. But little signs and stuff, all that's fine. It's also the same with like workbenches. Sorry.
No PAL boxes, but if you need to drop a workbench, just don't leave it there for a week.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. So if you notice down through this starter hill here, there is a couple of workbenches and stuff laying around. It's not a big deal because we can just destroy them if they get left there. But PAL boxes, you can't destroy them, not without abusing admin powers. But yeah, signs and stuff's fine. Quick question, how do you upgrade your... God, I hate the in-game chat.
Worded by character limit again.
It's so bad. You go to your base if you can't assign. Are they going to say 8 pals? I swear to God, I'll switch back to Craftopia. 6 pals.
Is that person in the stream or no?
No, I don't think he has any idea who I am.
Ew.
He's part of another content creators community. So that's going to be interesting.
Hey, Pika's got it.
Hey, Mr. Kaz. Yeah, cool. So this is why we need we need to arrange a set day for meetings where we go over things like this, because then we just pretty much make it like an obligation to, like, if you're about to at least attend the meeting, because that way I don't care if you don't watch me as a standard content creator, like, don't care about that, but in terms of going over the same things multiple times or whatever, Saturday then go on to party stream, sure, but a lot of it's kind of like debating, and that's not very Saturday night vibes. Maybe we do it as like a Monday to start the week off, talk about what we're going to work on for the rest of the week, that kind of thing. Friday serious day.
Can we do like a ping? Pick a time for the daily ping on what the topic is, put up a forum post, leave the forum post up for 24 hours, then, you know, admin, you can sift through the forum post and then put up a poll, which is left up for 24 hours, and then that change will go into the patch notes for the Friday patch note. That way we can potentially hit multiple topics a week, and then it'll just all get implemented on that Friday.
That's true.
And it gives people 24 hours to put in their ideas, then 24 hours to vote on it at the end. So it's a 48-hour turnaround, but people have plenty of time to respond.
So yeah, technically, yeah, if we kind of had a topic per day, we take the notes from it and then take it into the meeting to then cover those topics, it would also make a lot more sense. Don't see anyone named Caztecx on Twitch.
Z,
yeah, this dude has no idea who I am. He's in our Discord and everything. It's alright. It's pointless him coming here. I'm calling it soon. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I think that's definitely what we do. And then what we could also do, which I'm sure you'll be able to do, Rain, is set up a system message, an automatic system message for when the meetings, like the day the meetings are going to happen.
So I've been trying to do auto messages.
Have we not
Can you
got
press
them?
enter in game real quick?
Yep.
I just want to see your chat.
Oh.
Yeah, no. So nothing I'm sending from the console is going through. I've got to, talk to that boy Kev. But currently I cannot figure out how to send messages through the console. It doesn't show me anything.
There was, I swear I seen,
the console is there. It just doesn't seem to work.
yeah, I swear there was also commands. Wasn't there commands as well?
That's under console. It says command and you can type it in.
It
But
does, yeah.
it's
It
not
just doesn't.
working for me. Also, it doesn't show me the active player count in the
No,
the
it doesn't.
dashboard
It
either.
doesn't. I also hate there's no
I don't-
timer.
Yeah, well, under restarts, they don't make you do like an annoying thing. It's nice, but because they streamlined it, I can't send commands with the restarts.
Yeah.
So I just have to ask them for it. It's probably on their wiki. I just haven't sat down and read through their support wiki yet. So I'll figure it out. Just tell me when the meeting is in advance.
Yeah, that console just doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something we do need to enable or anything. Like I said, they have a whole support wiki with like a bunch of this information. I just haven't looked through it yet.
Does the show players one work?
It doesn't. It shows
Yeah,
for me 0 out of 32, and there's obviously like 9 people on. So
there's actually no text on the console.
correct. That's why I'm saying we might have to like
Yeah,
enable it or something.
Yeah, I
don't
just thought
know.
you meant like it didn't work as in like it wasn't sending, but there was actually like no console there.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I do need to do before heading off. Kev has asked for me to test something, so I'm going to be restarting the server in 5 minutes. So what we need to do is, some of you, well, everyone who's in would have noticed that you cannot currently join the server via the name, by the server name. You have to do it via the IP address. So I reached out to Daddy Kev this morning, and he basically just said try it with a different name. If not, let him know. So it is going to restart the server. If you didn't see, I did accidentally restart the server earlier because I wasn't expecting it to just instant restart when I saved the settings. I spelt my own name wrong last night on stream, so I changed the surname. I changed the name of the server and spelt my own name wrong. So I went to change it today. I pressed save and it was like restarting server. I was like, no. It just went. It was broken into your vault. If you break in, you still can't get in the chest, so it's pointless. All chests are locked. And then if you can't get out, I will leave you in there. You need a copper key to open it, and it respawns a certain amount of time. Oh, when I get rid of this copper key chest at my base, it's annoying. He's an imposter who doesn't even know his own name. I literally put Caztecx, so it's usually Caztecx X's, so it's like X with a little apostrophe and then the S. I put Caztecx apostrophe X, and I was like, "What? How did I miss an S on the end?" It's only 10k hits to break a metal chest. Coffee, if you break one of those chests, you do get an instant ban. Just letting you know. You spelled toxic ring? I'm not sure what you tried to do there, buddy, but that didn't work out, did it? Can't bother to get a key. We will be selling the keys. Rang, what's happening here, Toxic? Have you been drinking, buddy? Alright, wait, I got commands for this. What am I doing? Let me try this. I set this up a while ago. See if this works. And server restart in 4 minutes. Boom! Oh, no, didn't work. It's because my stream deck's not set up right. What a surprise. Oh, it's because I don't usually put it in the game, that's why. Why?
Kaz, type this in here.
Into what?
I'm gonna send you a message.
Sure. Are you all okay? What's happened to you all, chat?
Make sure you're logged in as admin though. There you go.
Okay, let me just hide my screen a minute, job, or I leak everything again.
I'm sorry, I sent it in stream chat, but I'll PM it to you. You have to fill in the blanks though, obviously.
Yeah.
But type that into.
Wait, I can't
log
open my
admin.
console if I hate that. Oh, it doesn't show it. Okay. That's cool. I hate that when you put the admin password in, it doesn't star it out, but I guess it doesn't know that it's an admin password till you send it. There's still loads of people in coffee. Phone ring. Shutdown ring. Wait, why did Toxic delete your message? That's toxic. Okay. I'll do it. What the? Come on, me! You damn stinking ape! Ah! I missed. Alright. Catch me if you can, buddy. I did it because it's private and rank. It's not private. Catch me if you can. Alright, yeah, alright, let's speed this up. I'll get everybody out first. And then I'll test it. How's the numbers for the server going? It's great, man. It's great. Did you see the announcement for yesterday, Toxic? I'm not sure if you were here. I don't know who was here last night. I was far too drunk. We haven't got 32 yet because I haven't bothered promoting the server because of the crashing, but we don't crash anymore. This boy's too fast for the server, though. My good old ka-chow. Alright, is everybody out? Alright. You guys have been warned enough. Right, so I'm doing shutdown. Is it shutdown?
No, so you don't have to do that. You can just type shutdown or just go to the dashboard.
Yeah, but I want to try the thing you said with the message.
Okay.
So shutdown 5. Get out. Wait, I can't see it. This chat sucks. It did it though. Right, server's down. Let me just do this quick change, chat. I'm just gonna change the server name to, I mean, I guess like the same thing, right? Just get rid of the S. Caztecx server. Hey, go for it. Okay. Start catching. Oh, I dropped in and out. Oh, so basically we got rid of our previous server provider. We got a new partnership. And we got a server now that doesn't crash. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Okay, let me do a full restart here. Alright, I'm gonna do this and then I'm heading off. I got so much to do. Right, reboot the game a minute. Yeah, so we need auto messages for sure. Because when it restarts, everyone just thinks it's a crash. Alright. Join multiplayer game. Try this properly. Community servers, Kaz. I know you guys can't see yet, but... Okay, there is 2 right now, but they will go. Password. Okay. Come on, please. I like logging in with the... Well, yeah, you still can, but we just don't want, like, we don't want that to have to be, like, you have to do it that way. Because then anybody... We've had so many people like, I can't get in. We're like, yeah, you gotta do it by IP. No, that still didn't work. Kevin, my boy! I need to give it time to process the change. It's alright, Kevin will get it sorted. Kevin! Kevin!
Is he in here?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, remember Home Alone? Kevin! I'm gonna add on to that, Rain. Also tested changing the name of the server to join and it didn't work. Only works joining via IP. Okay. I was thinking of the minions from Despicable Me. Is one of them called Kevin? I've never watched Despicable.
I'm gonna turn the server back off and try something real quick.
Okay.
Before you.
Yeah. It's really weird. I don't mind having to join through the IP, but I think it's just more complicated to explain to people who are like not in the server. You're the secret hero, Kevin? I've never watched Despicable Me. Oh. Oh, we got somebody else in there now, Rain.
Yeah, most likely, you know, whoever saw it doesn't know the answer to that question.
I survived now alone for at least a minute. You had that whole world to yourself. Go watch with your kid. Oh, she's watched it. She watches all the new kids films. I just can't stand them.
All right, try it now. See if you can search.
What? Join through the name?
Yeah.
Oh. Kids films fell off after Monsters, Inc.
I disagree with that statement vehemenously. I do not
Why,
agree at all.
What's your favorite?
Turning Red was so good.
Never even heard of it.
Oh my goodness. It's very good.
Turning Red? How have I not?
It's
How
like a big red panda.
Turning Red?
They got a boy band in there. It's a great movie.
Oh, I recognize it now, but no, didn't work.
Still doesn't work.
No. Oh, we got loads in here now. Rain, we got the whole of GPortal in the chat.
Oh my god.
That sounds like a bit of a cop-out. Sounds like a bit of a cop-out. Because we already have. Kaz, idea, set up a text key on your stream deck as a password. It's not... I do. I don't know if I've updated them, though, since I started leaking everything. So I just don't chance it. Like the new kids movies way better than Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, but Sleeping... that don't compare with Monsters, Inc. Or Nemo. Or Cars. Cars is goated. Yeah, the server does show up.
It shows up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look on the stream. No, you see it here. You just can't join it.
Only under recent servers. If you go to community servers, type
Yeah,
in the name.
it does come up.
It does not.
No, that
Look,
server you're looking at is
boom.
the Berry Bite server, bro.
No, it's not.
No? You
No,
sure?
no, I've just taken away the S off the end of Caztecx. It's even updated the
Okay.
name and everything.
Alright.
And the Berry Bite server
one.
one is completely offline now. I join this, put the password in. Caztecx will buy GPortal. Cars is fun. If you need to get Mrs. Kaz to watch, she would love Mater? I think she's watched Cars. I think everyone's watched Cars, right? Lightning McQueen? That's why my bird's called Ka-chow. Ka-chow. But Mater is goated. My name's Mater. Like Mater? Just without the tuh. Yeah, then you get that connection timed out. I tried to send a screenshot in there previously, but it wasn't, You can't send screenshots in that Discord. Yeah, no idea. I love my Disney movie. What's your favorite Disney movie? I don't really know what's Disney and what's not. I just know like kids films in general.
Wasn't Cars after Monsters Inc. too? Like, how can you ever
Probably,
say
yeah.
Cars is a bad movie, you know?
I don't. Cars is goated. But it's just not compared to Monsters, Inc. Maybe change server password? I think it is a new password. But usually we just say like the password's wrong or something. I don't get it. But we did it this way on the old server. That was just too fast. Too good now. On what?
All right, so there is a workaround if you guys, want it. We have to make a new server. So if you guys want to do a wipe, we can make it searchable.
Well, wipe is in. Yeah, we transfer our stuff, right?
I don't know. That could be what's causing the issue.
No. We can't do that. Frozen movies? I used to work in like a shop that sold like TVs, and I know I've never watched Frozen, and I know every word of it because it was when it was big, and they just played it on loop. I listened to the whole film like 9 times a day. What's fun about watching a Frozen movie?
Top tier comment, honestly.
Okay, so that sucks. We'll have to change to get people in. God damn! Why is server such a nightmare? The thing you could do is have like fortnightly wipes in the server, like Rust, but per wipe you are playing in, you get extra items. Yeah, Toxic, I think I'd rather just play a different game. It's hard to decide what my favorite Disney movie is. I like them all. So how do I name pals? Did you forget to press play? Like what Disney movies? You found it? Nice one. Jesus. Let that rain. Okay, right, chat, I'm going. I'm gonna go. They just don't have any systems in. God damn. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go, chat. I'm gonna go. I'm dead. I'm exhausted. I got so much work to do. But I will be active in the Discord, still doing stuff. When should we expect the votes? Tomorrow. The server's online, right? Yeah, server's on. You just gotta come in. You still gotta join via the IP address. IP address, tick this little box, press connect. Put the password in, boom, you're in. And shops tomorrow as well, yeah. What up, Andrew? Bad timing. I'm just heading off. But yeah, a bit of a shorter one tonight, a bit of a quieter one. Last couple of days have been mad. I've still not recovered. I've just been living on iced coffee. I've personally got to text you in Discord. No, you don't have to personally text me. About the Steam game. Oh, yeah. I'll sort that. 2-hour streams are enough. Was it 2 hours? Oh, God. Not bad. But yeah, we got a crazy weekend ahead. There might be something fun happening Saturday night. Might be. Maybe. Just made it. Time to say goodbye. UFC Sunday, fun Saturday. What was Friday night? Friday night too. Friday night, well, it depends. I got to talk to Jodo about playing this game because I'm not gonna lie. As much as it does sound fun, it is getting absolutely bombarded with negative reviews. Like, right now it is on. So we might just do it for the fun of it. I mean, this is a good. Yeah, we might just do it for like a fun thing. But they are mostly negative reviews right now. There's some alright ones in there, so we'll probably do it. But yeah, so Friday night, yeah, let's just do it as a potentially a one-off. It might be like an hour, and then we switch over to something else, Joda. But I'm down. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. So tomorrow night, I still want to get some Palworld in as well tomorrow, but I will be collaborating with the one and only Joda as we take on the seas in a game called Shark Siege. In fact, I have a quick trailer here, which you can check out. It's quite a new game. It came out 1st of August. And the devs were kind enough to send me and Joda a copy of it. And we're gonna give it a little bash. We are both going to cry. We both hate the ocean. But this is it. It's a survival game based on shark attacks. So it's going to be pretty fun. This is what we're going to be doing tomorrow night. And then Saturday, I want to run our first proper Palworld live event. It doesn't look too bad, no. I read some of the reviews, and I gotta admit, one of the reviews is like, oh, the shark attacks. And it's like, yeah, that's the game. The voice acting is... What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be... It ain't gonna be nothing crazy good, but we like fun games. And I'll take anything for free. So yeah, we're going to be playing that a little bit tomorrow. So Joda and Kaz will be the voice actors. Yeah, maybe we should roleplay it, Joda. Make it super fun. The kind of event on a Saturday, I think we potentially build an obstacle course, Joda. Or like a maze, or something like that. Go back to old school Craftopia events. Roleplay is the only way. Yeah, but we'll sort it out. Me and Joda will arrange that. I'll get in contact with you, Joda. We'll sort that. But yeah, so Friday, going into the ocean, then probably followed by a little bit of Palworld. Then Saturday, Palworld live event. Palworld live event including prizes and things like that. And of course, another sesh. Let's go. All right, chat, I'm going. Peace out. Much love, everybody. Please do drop a like on the way out if you haven't already. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Appreciate you. Much love, everybody. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. Go have some nice food. Go hug your dog. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.